Hi everyone, today we'll explain the usage of VLOOKUP function in Excel. The VLOOKUP or vertical lookup function in Excel is one of the most popular and powerful functions for finding and retrieving data from a table. It can be used to search a value in the first column of a table and return a related value from another column in the same row. First argument of the VLOOKUP value which you are searching should be in the first column of the table. So first column means this product ID. So any of these values like 1008 or 1007, the value should be given. So that is what you are searching. In the first column, any value can be searched. Then table array, complete array you should select. Complete table array you should select for the second argument. Then column index number, which column index number you require the data. Suppose you are given 1007 as the value. If you give column 2, this is column 1, this is column 2. 1007 as a value if you give, column 2 you have this item name and column 3 you have price. So if you give column index number as 2, it will retrieve the name of the that particular product ID, that is mobile phone. If you give a column index number as 3, it will retrieve the price of the item. So that is a column index number. So whichever the column number corresponding to the details you are looking for, that you should fill here. And last parameter of the VLOOKUP is either false or true you can give. False means you will be searching exact match for the first parameter, the value which you are given, product ID you are given. At that exact match, if it occurs, it will return the value. True means approximate match, it will search. Even for approximate match, it will return value. It will find out an approximate match and then retrieve the value corresponding to the data given. So here I'll use this VLOOKUP function to retrieve the price of a product. So I'll use the VLOOKUP function. This formula I'll write, but by giving the values and table I'll select and then use the formula here. So here I'll type the formula equal to VLOOKUP. I'll select from the drop down menu. Now I'll type the value as 1007. I'm typing that fixed value 1007. So I am searching for this 1007 in the first column, comma. So I'll select the entire table here, entire table, okay, comma. Then which column I am searching, which column the data is required. So I need the price. So that is in the third column. So I'll type it as 3. And I need an exact match. So I'll give false. Last parameter I'll give as false because I need an exact match for the product ID. Then close the bracket and press enter. So you will be getting the price of that product ID which you have given. So I given 1007. So instead of giving 1007 as a fixed value, I can give a cell reference here, say like a particular cell where I'll fill the product ID. So instead of 1007, I'll put the cell number, that is K5. Instead of 1007, I'll fill K5. Then press enter. You will not get any result because you have not filled anything there. So instead of 1007, I have given K5 there. So first value which is searching is K5. Okay, whatever value is there in K5, it will be searching and it will not find out. So it is created an error. So here what I do is if I write 1007 now you will get the value. If I give 1005 it will give the value for that particular item. So instead of typing all this I can create a drop down list here. So this cell I'll select, go to the data tab, data validation, then in that cell instead of any value I need a list. Now list, what list is required? I need the complete this product ID. So I'll go for the source. Source is this. I need this to be displayed as a list. Then you can click OK. So now we will be getting that complete product ID list here. So you can select any product ID from the drop down. It will give the price. So 1014 corresponding price is 2,800. So you can change the product ID 1010, corresponding price is 8,000. And this will make it easy to search and find out the particular details corresponding to this product ID. Now I'll give another example. Here I have the marks obtained by 20 students in maths, physics and chemistry. Let us say these students are applying for a course and that course requires eligibility as minimum marks in maths as 50 and physics and chemistry minimum 40 to be scored. So eligibility for that course is minimum 50 marks in maths, chemistry and physics 40 marks each. So that is a minimum requirement. First I'll get the eligibility of these students. So I'll use an if statement here, equal to if. Within if I'll put a and function, and within and function I'll go for these three comparison tests, logical comparisons, that is this maths marks for the first student, maths marks that is in the cell C3 I'll take, and greater than or equal to, it should be greater than or equal to 50. So that is one logical test. Next is D3, that is physics marks, D3 greater than or equal to 40 and comma. Next for chemistry, that is in the cell E3 greater than or equal to again 40, and gives a true value if all the three conditions are met. So if and gives a true value, then that means all the three conditions are met. The candidate is eligible, so I can put eligible there and comma. Then if it's not met, then the candidate is not eligible, and then close the bracket. So that will make the first candidate eligible because he has scored more than 50 in maths and more than 40 in physics and chemistry. So I'll apply this formula to the entire table by double clicking on the fill handle here in the right bottom. Few students are not eligible because they could not score the required marks. Now I got the eligibility, but if you have a very lengthy list and if you want to find out the eligibility of a candidate by giving the roll number, I can use a VLOOKUP function. So here to check the eligibility, instead of manually searching and finding out whether this candidate is eligible or not, by giving the roll number, I should get the eligibility whether the candidate is eligible or not. So here I can use the VLOOKUP function equal to VLOOKUP. So I'll select VLOOKUP. Then I have to give the roll number. Roll number I'll select now this cell M11. I'll enter the roll number there later. So roll number is whatever value I enter in the cell M11. So that can be like any of these values. Then next select the table, entire range of the table. Then comma, column you have the eligibility entered, so that is in the fifth column. So it's first, second, third, fourth and fifth column. So I have to give as 5. Then I need an exact match, so I'll give false. Then close the bracket, enter. So I am not getting any result because there is no roll number entered here. If its roll number is 3, I will get this eligible. So instead of typing it, I'll create a drop down there. So I'll go for the data tab. So this particular cell, data tab, data validation, I should select a list, and the source of the list should be 1 to 20. Then click on this downward arrow, click OK. So now I'll be getting that 1 to 20 here. You can check the eligibility. 17 I checked is not eligible, or if I select 14, 14 is eligible. Okay. This is how you use the VLOOKUP function. So when it huge amount of data is involved, this VLOOKUP function enables you to search a particular value and retrieve any data related to that value. Now in this VLOOKUP function, instead of 5, if you give 4, then it will retrieve the chemistry marks. So I'll give this as 4. So that will give the chemistry marks that is this marks. If you give 3, it will give the physics marks. If you give 2, it will give maths marks. Because in the fifth column you have eligibility, you should give 5 to get the eligibility displayed here. So if I give roll number 19, so you are getting marks of this particular student in chemistry, that is 49. So I'll change that to 5. So I'll be getting the eligibility. Hope you understood how to use a VLOOKUP function. Thank you for watching.